Hello everybody, I am gaming here, and we are back with the most requested episode that I've people have been wanting me to make, and that is a tier list on every single ancestor, which is 30 at the moment. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be ranking every single ancestor here, but before we get into that, I should probably explain the categories. We're going to start at the bottom here, which is trash, and pretty much self-explanatory. You are better off having a empty habitat than the monster in the habitat. No reason to ever get these monsters. Um, really, really, really irritating to even use, and it's just no point in having them. Now, next up we have bad, which is these monsters which are not good, but every so often, maybe like a war is going to be extremely restricted, and they just happen to be there. They will help in only that single war. So it is usable in that situation, but in literally every other situation, in other wars, likely not going to be useful. So it's really not the best, and they are just overall horrible. No point in ranking them up crazy, but they. It's okay to have him if you do have him. And next up we have good. These are monsters which are pretty decent, but they're not like groundbreaking or monsters that are absolutely amazing. They will most likely be overshadowed by other monsters and are just overall not the best, but they're also not bad. They are good to have. They are pretty good to have. Like, it doesn't hurt to have him, and in fact, it's better if you do have him than don't have him. So, pretty self-explanatory, just good. Now we have great here. Now these are the monsters that really overshadow the good monsters. Like maybe it has an extra skill or extra virtue or extra trait that is just so much better compared to the one its counterpart in good here. And these are really good for wars all the time. They are almost guaranteed wins when you do have them in wars. They are amazing to have, and they are a great addition to your islands. So overall, great monsters. Really good. And then we have the OP. This is your absolutely must-have monster. You cannot miss out on these monsters, and you should 100% get them rank 5. Put your best runes on them, and they are going to benefit you in so many ways, whether it's by helping you destroy and complete events, or help you get to Olympus and just demolish everything. They are the monsters that you must have, and you just need them. So, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start with a ranking. So, it already has me here starting off with Adele. Now, this is my personal list from what I've used, what I think, and just my honesty and kind of this is also kind of my ranking on like in what order monsters you should get because people always ask me, should I get this? Should I get that? I'm about to let you know exactly, like what my priorities would be. So starting off with Adele, this might surprise some people, but I'm gonna have him in good. Um, I feel like he's overshadowed. He is good for wars. He really is great to have. But he is, and saying all that, you'd think he'd be great, but he just gets overshadowed. Um, and I'll explain that once we get to the monster that overshadows him. He's good to have, but there is a better one. So he does go down a tier because of that. Overall, really good Megaton monster with amazing traits. He is really good to have, and I personally do have him to rank 5. I was thinking of getting good runes on him, but like once again, like I said, he's overshadowed, so I feel like you're better off, especially if you're free to play and you cannot afford to be swapping in and out runes. He gets overshadowed by this other one, and it's probably better to use these runes on the other one instead of him. So without further ado, that's the first one down. Oh, this one, oh, I'll actually need to think about this one for a little bit. Kira, me personally, I have 2 of him, but I don't use him at all. I haven't even hatched him yet, but I will say this, he is really good. Back in the middle tier. I'll explain why. I was thinking of putting him in great, but I feel like once again he gets overshadowed. He is a bit of a really, is he glass cannon though? I don't know. He's really, I feel like you're gonna get rid of him pretty easily the second you're able to hit him. And he just gets overshadowed by so many other monsters that he just gets put down a tier. His extra turn is really nice, but with old anticipation, it's oof. He's just gonna drag you down low key, and there's just better choices. And honestly, you're fine ignoring him, but he can come in clutch sometimes, especially in maybe a defense team. He will be very helpful. But once again, that'd be just your defense, so not the best there. Um, Next up we have Anwir. Now, I'm really contemplating him putting him good. I feel like people would say bad, but okay, you know what? I feel like I can't be in the middle ground here, so I think I'm gonna put him in bad. he's usable, I guess, and it is for the one reason that in wars, every so often, if I get him constantly in wars, I have to use this guy so much in wars, because of his death cooldown, it can really help you win some easier battles and clean out without having to stress too much about gem costs. And uh, he's really helpful to have, I guess, but he is not good. He is not good, honestly. He's not that bad, but he's not that good. I found a lot of use in him, especially when he first came out. He was pretty good, but he really fell down and because of all these other monsters. So yeah, he's just not gonna make it too good, I guess. Oh, this one's gonna hurt me, but Baba Bashir, I am so sad. This was my favorite ancestor for the longest time. It just recently has changed, and it is a big shame to say that I have to put this guy in trash. Um, there was a point where this was the strongest ancestor, and he was so good. He was amazing. He was cleaning out. Because of him, I got to like legendary 1, like almost immediately. He was really cleaning out everybody, but sadly now he has fallen off. What his big attributes were was his crazy strength, his agility, and his just overall really good awakening. However, as of now, with anticipation being in the meta, um, he gets countered extremely easily. He is just not going to be cut out for this. He is going to be too weak to survive until he gets awakened, and he will most likely be cleaned out by an ancestor that has Pierce, which a lot of them do now. So that is a bit of a shame. I I am so sad I have to put him there because he is truly a really good, or my favorite monster, was my favorite ancestor. He was truly like good at one point. Oh, and next up we have Diabolo's Hellbringer. Now, I'm kind of contemplating to put in between these three, and it's kind of an even split between all of them here, because they all kind of have a definition where this guy could fit in. But I think honestly, it's going to be about the same. I know, I feel like this is going to be controversial, but like I said before, I'm also putting in priority into my list. So, like, what I would prioritize really helps either put them up or down in this list. So, I'd say bad, or he is usable, I guess. Same reason for Anwir. He comes in clutch in certain wars, especially because of all his tortures and effects, but as of now, he has been heavily overshadowed by other monsters with tortures, because that seems to be the new meta soon, or that's coming now. So, sadly, this guy just goes down because of that reason. Um, yeah, it's just kind of over for him. Definitely stats are outdated. The power creep just demolished all of these monsters, honestly, especially my poor Baba Bashir. But yeah. Okay, so next up we have Enkidu, or Ndiku. I'm not sure what you want to call him. But um, gosh, this guy, I feel like this guy really could have been in the good tier. And he's so close to the good tier. He's like right. He's like in between. He's like about I feel like he just slowly slipped down. Um, and that's because of really like the overlap of power creep and just how easy he is to counter, and the much better monsters that just have, uh, once again overthrown him. Like, yeah, he is really good in wars, depending on the restriction, whether like if you get Earth, likely you're definitely gonna want to use Adelt over him. But if you have like if you want to get all your attacks done in like one sitting, then you might want to, he's gonna be useful to have there to like save your gems. But besides that, he has just fell off. He has slipped down into the bad, which, by the way, like I said before, bad isn't that bad. It is usable. It's just not like as usable as all the other monsters. Like it just goes down in priority, right? Um, so he's gonna be in bad here. Now we're gonna go ahead and go with Everest. Now Everest himself here. Ah, I feel like my personal experience with him would be bad, but that's my fault because I don't think I have really good runes on him, and I never even bothered to use him, and he was really good. So I'm actually gonna put him in good tier, surprisingly. From seeing other people use him in was it Bounty Hunt maybe, I think for a while, he was really good. Wars, he's really good to have, and even in multiplayer, if you he's actually pretty good on defense and attack team sometimes, depending on what the meta is going on, what people are using. So, um, this guy is actually being good tier, surprisingly. I was really thinking of putting him bad, but he just has more uses in other events compared to these guys, and that's why he goes more up in priority. Okay, looks like we got Florian Mustang here, and I'm just gonna say OP must have First of all, this monster's tortures are beautiful. He is so good at working with other monsters. Like, he just really helps every other like meta monster. He is a must-have. He is so good in wars, events, and multiplayer. He is really good. He's a must-have. If you don't have him, I recommend having him. I kind of slacked on him for a little while just because of when he came out. I was not playing that much, but I decided recently to go ahead and just work really hard on him. So I have him ranked 5, and I'm just working on getting some really good runes for him now because he is still really freaking amazing, and he is a must-have monster at this point. He is amazing, really good. Definitely need this monster. If you see any like if you play multiplayer in general, you will know that this monster is freaking OP and amazing. He is S tier. Must have this monster. Um, and hopping down from OP, we're going to be heading with Glacial up to bad. And I think it's self-explanatory. This monster, if he had Mega Taunt starting off, he might have been in good, but he gets that when he awakens, so he just has Taunt, and is just isn't the best. He has Repentance, which is really good, and Tortures and all that, so he's good in that regard, but besides that, he just doesn't cook. Like, honestly, he is overshadowed by like almost every monster. He at one point he was really good, and he really what's the word? I don't remember. He worked with other monsters really well at one point, but the monsters that he worked well with either have fallen off or have surpassed him and found even better companions that this monster just doesn't fit in anymore. So we're gonna put Glacial here in bad. Now next up we have trash. Griffania Ironwings. I believe this was the first Ancestor. And because of that, it's really self-explanatory why he's in trash. Being the first Ancestor means you are now the furthest down in power creep, meaning that every single monster after this guy most likely has a lot more power and strength and speed compared to the rest, compared to him at least. He is rarely, if ever, usable. He's not usable in multiplayer. He's barely usable in wars, but there's bad monsters which you can just replace him in and out of it instead. So that's why he's in trash. His Arrow Saga is basically the best you're gonna get out of him, and that's about it. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that one. Sadly, he has a great design though. Next up we have Honan, which should be no surprise to be in the OP must-have tier, and it's for a simple reason. This monster demolishes in wars, demolishes in bounty hunt, demolishes in did I say wars already? Yes, and multiplayer. Wars, multiplayer, bounty hunt, events, everything. His Air Saga, everything. Oh, amazing monster. Holy crap. Well-rounded, extremely good. He's a must-have monster. In fact, I think I'm gonna start listing the OP monsters in like priority of which I'd get first, and I think it's gonna be like that. Because Honan is amazing, beautiful monster, incredible, a big must-have monster, and we can all agree on that. Huh. Now next up, ooh, this is gonna be a tricky one. We have a JJ. Now let's see, Justin. Ah, it hurts. It hurts so bad because I really want to put him in great tier, but like I said, he has now been overshadowed, and don't. I don't think. I just realized. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I got Everest and Maxstrom confused a little bit. So some of my points about him being in Bounty Hunt are not true. But he is still a really good monster. So I'm gonna keep him in good. I'm gonna keep him in good because he is really good, especially in a lot of events and things, but just not the best rounded. But JJ, back to JJ. I'm gonna just put him in. Should I? Do I really want to put him in good? Yeah. I feel like his. Yeah, no, I feel like he's just falling off because of power creep and because of all the new what's it called? What are they called again? Traits that new monsters have which counteract this guy, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, it's fine. He is a good monster and he is right there. He is climbing his way up to great, but seems like because of the power creep, he's just not gonna make it great. But it's okay. At one point he would be OP, but he has now fallen off to good because of all the new monsters and the new meta. So he's gonna just sit there for now. Next up, we have Calarok, which I am going to put in bad. Same reason for all these monsters. I was kind of thinking putting him in trash, but he is surprisingly a really good monster in Wars. I rarely use him, but I see other people use him all the time in Wars, and he always clutches up. His traits, his tortures, they really help him out, and I think that's a great thing. But he is like right here. Like he is more, almost more in trash than he's in bad. So not much to say. He's just usable, I guess. Now Kirk. Now usually I feel like I'd put Kirk in bad, but as of recently, he is going to be in good or great. 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 We're gonna keep him good. That's because of his what's it called? His traits, which are a perfect counter to an OP must-have monster. The newest one actually. I'm not gonna say it just yet because I don't want to talk about him just yet. But that's all I'm gonna say. He would have been bad, but because of recent updates, he is actually gonna be in good because he's a good counter to the newest Ancestor. Now, next up we have Linus, and I don't want to really group him up with Adele because he is, in my opinion, a tier below him now. Uh, but he could have been in good. It's just he's just overshadowed by Adele, and sadly Adele is overshadowed by another monster, which is why he's in good compared to Linus. Um, Linus is a decent Megaton monster. I feel like they really fumbled the bag with him, but it's okay. He's an okay monster to have. He really comes in clutch in war sometimes, having that Megaton monster easily accessible, but he's just not that good anymore, compared to everything else. Now, next up, we have Mater Geneza. Now, this is going to surprise some people, I think. We're going to put him in great. Mater here is probably one of the best, was one of the best monsters in the game, and she was OP at one point. She was absolutely a must-have. She was superior to every single monster for the longest time. But she's going to have to go in great. And why is that? That's going to be because of the fact that she has been overshadowed as of recently. And she is also just the power creep, like always. Power creep is the biggest plague on these monsters. Just really puts them down when too many new monsters get released, and Ancestors just really, really destroy the previous one's stats. It's just not that good anymore. So, Mater's going to have to go down a tier from OP, which is, I feel like it sucks, but she is going to be there. Okay, so next up we have Maximus, and he's gonna be great. A really good monster bounty hunt. He's really good in wars, and he has a lot of use in multiplayer. Um, so he's gonna be in great. That's basically the same reason he has good reasons why. I'm not gonna go too into deep in him, but pause. He just has a lot of uses compared to his good counterparts. He has way more uses. You can use him in more events. Like you can't really use Adele in bounty hunt unless you're a piece of crap that likes healing the fugitive. So he's gonna be great and pretty self-explanatory. Next up, we have Primorion, which he's going to go in great as well, too. His cooldown skills and everything is just amazing. He is really good in multiplayer. Wars, he's amazing. He's not the craziest in multiplayer, but he's really good in wars, and he's okay, especially on a defense team in multiplayer. So, pretty short reason. Pretty sure we can all get behind that. He is better than good, but not OP. So, he's going to have to be in great. Next up, we have Robar when you trash, and there's no reason to explain. He's just trash. We all know why. He's been trash since he came out. Next up, we have Skibidi. Skibidi is going to be in bad. So Skibidi here, he's going to go in bad, and that is because of the same reason that all these other monsters are here in bad. He is just not the best monster. In multiplayer events, he is simply just good whenever you're able to use him in wars, and that's basically it. That's about it. His quick use, and then boom, boom, gone. And it's still iffy even then, but that's why he's grouped up with these monsters. These all monsters are basically here for the same reason, where you can every so often, when you have in wars because of a certain restriction, they can be pretty helpful. So he's just gonna be in bad. Next up we have Stina. Now at first I was thinking good, then I thought about it, then I was like, huh, bad. But then I was thinking about it, and then I was like, trash. But we're gonna go in good or bad. I mean, she's just so easy to counter these days. It is a rare sight when Stina doesn't gets an attack in during wars. I'll say that. However, if you have her on your attack team and you're able to work in her skills, you could beat the other team pretty easily. Just awaken really quickly, boom boom, make sure you're actually like not dead, and it's a pretty easy dub from there. pretty good. I've had my fair share of times where I've used her. However, she is I'm really tempted to put her in trash because I've compared these monsters. These other monsters just have a lot more slightly like you're gonna use them more. Like you're really gonna be like, oh crap, I have to use her really. Um, yeah, I feel like some people might complain that maybe she deserves to be higher, and then I'll have people that complain that she needs to be lower. But I think this is a good middle ground um, for her overall. Next up, we have Tideborn. I'm gonna put him in good, which is surprising to me because I feel like the power creep would have put him in bad by now. Um, Never mind, bad. I just thought about it for a second. Nope, bad. He gets overshadowed by like I forgot that about the new monsters. Yeah, no, crap, bad. At one point he was OP, then he fell down a gray, and he stood there for a little while. Then he really went over to good, but as of lately, he has now hit the bad mark. He is on equal footing with, I'd say, Diabolos in the same reasons why. His effects are really good and all that, but you're never going to really use him in anything else. He just gets so easily countered in every other battle type, so it's a bit of a shame. If you can fight a team where they just don't have the best like ancestors or best setup, even if you have maybe if you're going against like a one of these better monsters here and they're just set up bad, you could win with them. That's why he's a good war monster, and that's about it. Same reason that all these monsters here, once again, because of war. Now Thor is gonna go straight to trash, and we can all agree why. No use. Multiplayer is insanely negative. He has never, terrible, terrible monster in multiplayer. Wars, oh my gosh. Whenever I see a freaking Thor, I'm like, easy win for me. Light work, no work needed. Um, he's only ever in wars because of the restriction, and that's it. Next up, we have Exandrite, which is going to go into great. Beautiful monster, works really well with a lot of the OP and great monsters. Even good monsters, I'd say. Even Bounty Hunt works really well. Really good monster overall. I'm really happy. I feel like he is a really good monster and is well rounded, but just not OP. Like it's just some setbacks, and it's not just power creep. It's just generally there's other monsters that have better abilities and skills. I'd say skills over traits definitely. In this situation with Xanderite, just not the best. Definitely other monsters which are better. But she is a or he is. I keep thinking she's a she. He is a great monster. And now we have some of the newer ancestors here. I'm actually moved the list here. I think I'm gonna put. I don't know. I'll just. There we go. Next up we have Exarch. Exarch is good. He's an okay monster. He has some good use. I'd say he's on equal footing with Akira in his use with uses you're gonna get out of them, whether it's occasionally in multiplayer, pretty commonly in wars, but in events likely not. And he does get countered by a lot of other monsters pretty easily as well. So he's gonna be in good, just not the best, but really not that bad. In fact, he's better than bad. He's good. So, even after the post, quote unquote, what's it called? Not nerf. What's the opposite of nerf? Buff. When he got buffed, he also kind of took a little bit of a nerf, being a little harder to awaken. So he's gonna stay in good. Next up, we have, is this Torog? I think it's Torog. I might be wrong. He's gonna be great. And he is a monster that I talked about that overshadows Adeld. His tortures are so beautiful. I can easily counter an Adeld easily just with a quick attack. But Adeld, second he gets an attack in, I really start to be a little worried. You know, those tortures do add up. Which is why I feel like he really overshadows Adeld here. And I definitely pick him over Adeld any day of the week. I mean, unless I'm going against like even Honan water. Doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Honen's going to be able to one-shot your Adult anyways. So might as well have a Torog and maybe throw on some effects if you can on him. So that's why I'm reasoning there. But Torog, really good monster, almost OP. And I would even say that him being a Megaton is a good reason to have him in the must-have because of like just he's the best Megaton at the moment. So it might be the best to have him at, or might be a good reason to have him at must-have. But I feel like he might get overshadowed soon. But for now, he's going to be there. Okay guys, so next up we have Dame Petrovia, and that's going to be OP, and it's for the same reason only the other monsters are OP. She is good in events, especially Bounty Hunt, almost a must-have in Bounty Hunt. really good in multiplayer. Oh, she is amazing in multiplayer. Her skills and traits are beautiful, especially her resurrection block and it might be when she awakens where she gets anticipation, but she's really good. No, I think she has it as a base trait actually. Either way, really good skills, really good monster, amazing in wars, amazing in multiplayer, amazing in events, and that's the trifecta that's needed to be an OP. Um, and now we're actually kind of ending off here with the last three. I'll do President Cannon first, I guess. And okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I'll explain it why later. We're gonna go into great, and I'll put her here. Let me actually just order these really quick into a quick like priority on which like from best to worst from starting here. We're gonna go like this, like that, like this actually. Actually, no, you can power creep as a. There we go. So this is like at least from greatest like or like yeah, basically great from least to best in this section. Um, he's so close in OP, and there's only one reason why he's not in OP. And like I said before, priority will really influence this list in terms of monsters you should really put effort into. And we're going to get into why he isn't great instead of OP in a little bit. But just understand that this monster is beautiful, amazing, and it is almost a must have. There's only one reason why it's not in must have, and honestly, it's subjectable. And in my opinion, if you want him, go ahead and get him. Great monster. I can't wait to like use him more soon. But there's only one reason why he's not good, and we're gonna explain that in just a little bit. But next up, we have the Lord. He's gonna be in great, and he's gonna be around. I'd say here. Surprisingly, yeah, here. Just insanely powerful monster, really good. But at one point, for a second, he was at OP, but his skills just cannot compete with the current meta and tortures and all of that. But his anticipation and the rest is super good, and he is honestly a amazing monster to have as a huge attacker. Like you can group this guy up with any of these OP monsters, and you have yourself an unstoppable team. Like he is so close to being OP. So close. All these three right here are so close to being OP. They're like on the verge. These three could be an OP depending on your use and like just I guess setup. Honestly, could be an OP. Really could be an OP, but they're just not there in my opinion. Because of priority. You know, like there's other monsters that you might want to focus on that are similar, that are a little bit better. And we have now made it to the end and the monster that really kind of puts into place a lot of these other monsters, and that's Vorif. And he's going to be an S tier. OP, must have. Using him and seeing him in use has been despicable. He is a groundbreaking monster and beautiful because he has President Kanon. The reason he's here is because he's overshadowed by Vorif. I saw Kanon here and I was like, oh my gosh, Torture's back? OP, right? And then he was overshadowed by Vorif right after. Because, dude, this monster is sickening, insane, unstoppable, dude. This monster is amazing. And he's literally the sole reason why Kirk is higher up in this list because of his counters. He can actually counter Vorif pretty well. So he's only high up here because of Worf. President Keon is only down here because of Worf. This monster overshadows so many of these other monsters here. It is amazing, and he is the newest ancestor, so it makes sense. But they really went all out. Not only is he amazing because of power creep, but because of all his tortures and traits. Whew, he just flies up in the ranks. He is amazing, and overall probably the best monster at the moment. Of course, this list will be changing every time a new ancestor comes out, because just like how it happened here with Kirk and President K9, well, these could have been higher or lower. A new monster every so often does influence the rest of them. So, yeah, that is going to be my ranking for this episode. Now, if you do disagree with some rankings, let me know if you want to. I mean, just don't be rude about it, please. I gave every single reason and my priority and thing, explaining it the best way I could. Um, it was it was hard to really rank these monsters because, like I said before, I would have loved to put Bubbleshir higher. President K9 could have been higher. Torok could have been higher. But there's these small reasons why they're lower, and that's because of priority in like which monsters I would actually think. I'd be like, you should go get this monster. Like I wouldn't be like, go get President K9. I'd be like, go get Worf. And that's the reason why some of these monsters are where they are when they might not seem on equal footing. Like you might be like, Adele is so much better than all these monsters here. But he's worse than Torog. And when it comes to that, when you have to choose between these two, I'd say Torog every single time, basically. So that's what kind of the reasoning here for some of these are. These all here are pretty easy to understand. They are the monsters where you have them in wars and they can just come in clutch for some reason or another. Like they're there. And they're not bad to have. They're good to have honestly, but they're just not good. And trash, we can all agree on these lists right here. It's been common knowledge. It's a bit of a shame, but common knowledge trash. Good. You know, really could find some good use here for them. And then great, probably want to work if you once you get all these OPs, you might want to start knocking down the list of these monsters to get a rank 5 and put some good runes on them. But I'd prioritize these 4 here. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for my ranking. Like I said before, if you have any suggestions or reasons why you would put a monster higher in the list or lower in the list, and let me know in the comments down below. But so many people have asked me for my personal list on what monsters I would get, and I really want you guys to realize that my reasoning isn't just in this picture. It is deeper because of like all of the things I've said. So please, before you write a comment down below and you're like, I feel like President K9 should be higher, you should hear my understanding first, and then be like, okay, I see why you put him there. But yeah, this is my list, my 2025 list. What is it, Misery Season 3. As of right now, this is the best monster list in my opinion. Of course, like I said before, my opinion is subjectable. Just people that have other uses for these monsters that they can find rarely, and they might put them up higher because of experience. But this is going to be it. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.